Hi everyone, welcome to Life Tips by Ning. Today's topic is health. It is such an important topic in our lives, and this ancient Chinese BaZi tool, you can actually use it to identify potential health risk. It is super useful so that we don't miss out on the key timing for preventative care and or treatment in the early stage of any potential disease. This is a really powerful tool to ensure we have a healthy life. And here's a revisit of the 10 heavenly stems. We have the 5 elements: wood, fire, earth, metal, and water. And because of the yin and yang difference, there's a 10 total in this group. And each of those 10 letters correspond to either a vital organ or a potential health risk. The reason I did not list the corresponding relationship or indication from the 12 earthly branches is that each earthly branch has the same ingredient from those same 10 heavenly stems. So you can actually use the same system when it applies either on the top or on the bottom row of your BaZi chart. For example, if a BaZi chart doesn't have this yang wood heavenly stem in its top row, however, that chart has a yin wood in the earthly branch bottom row, because yin wood, that earthly branch, has the main ingredient of the same yang wood from heavenly stem, you can actually use that bottom row to have the same conclusion and analysis. So let's go through the detailed representation and indication from each of those 10 letters. The first pair is the yin and yang wood. So this yang wood represents gallbladder and the yin wood represents liver. And the reason I'm talking about them in pairs is related to this unique concept from traditional Chinese medicine. So in Western medicine, let's say if we have a liver disease, the doctor is going to treat our liver directly. But traditional Chinese medicine is different. It could be a direct reason from the liver itself, or because they're a pair belonging to the same 5 element. The thought is the root cause could be actually from the gallbladder, even though the symptoms are related to liver. And the reverse relationship is true as well. So liver could be the root cause, and you have the symptoms appearing from your gallbladder. And the same thing with this fire pair, right? So the yang fire represents small intestines, and the yin fire represents heart. So sometimes like heartburn, indigestion. So heartburn is a symptom, but the root cause could be from your small intestine. The same thing with this earth pair. The yang earth wu, that correspond to our stomach, and the yin wood correspond to spleen. This metal pair, yang metal, correspond to our large intestines, and the yin metal represents our lung. The last pair of water element, so yang water is bladder, and then yin water is kidney. So now that we know the key organ each of those 10 heavenly stems correspond to, let's talk about what potential health risk they can trigger. The reason it translates into a health risk is in your own BaZi chart. If a particular element listed here is out of balance, it actually plant a seed of risk in your own BaZi chart. When I say out of balance, it could be either too little or too much. Both of those can be extreme situations that create health risk. So let's say this yang wood, right? Not only it represents gallbladder, but when it's being collided or being suppressed too much, the moment it's out of balance, that translates to our body hair. So you can actually see somebody losing hair or getting bald when this yang wood is in an out of balance state. or it can mean our bones. So in a situation, I've seen some examples when the annual trend or the 10-year trend, there's a young metal coming because metal suppresses wood. People have bone fractures as a result of health risk. Next one is the yin wood. In addition to representing liver, both wood represents hair, but the yang wood is the balding, losing hair, and the yin wood means the premature graying of hair. The normal graying is because of aging, that's fine. But if you see like young people have a lot of gray hair or premature graying, that's because this yin wood is in an unfavorable position, it's out of balance. It also means tendon. So tendon, the symptoms are either arthritis or any like connective tissues that's in trouble. So moving to this yang fire, in addition to representing small intestines, it also means eyes. So if people have eye problems, eye diseases, that's because this yang fire is out of balance. The yin fire, because it's connected to the heart, sometimes if you have so many burdens in your heart, right, it can cause sleeplessness and people lose sleep overnight in a chronic way. So that's because the yin fire is out of balance. Moving on to this yang earth, because it means stomach, it also can represent metabolism. So if in the BaZi it's so out of whack, there's so many wood suppressing this earth, you can actually see this person being super skinny because the stomach function is being suppressed to a severe condition and the metabolism is super fast. But on the contrast, if in a BaZi chart, this young earth is overwhelmingly too much, is dominating the whole qi in your chart, that could be this person has a slow metabolism, so is in a more larger or overweight condition. This yin earth, because it represents spleen, once it's out of balance, it can come across as diabetes, which is a really prevalent disease. And you can actually see your chart to see, do you have a higher risk for diabetes? Then please go see your doctor, right? Get early treatment before it gets into a severe state. Yang metal, because it's large intestines, sometimes it means like indigestions or hemorrhoid, but it can also mean skin. So the moment it's out of balance, it's all this poisonous content showing up on your skin. So it could be acne or any kind of skin problems. This yin metal, because of its long, it also connected to the nerve system. So sometimes it's like a nervous breakdown or sensitivity or uncontrollable body movement. All of those symptoms are connected to the nerve system. This yang water, because water, both yang and yin, also represents blood. So in addition to potential bladder related issues, we can also see like blood issues like high blood pressure or too low blood pressure, right? Because I've seen in charts if the metal component, which supports and grows water, if the metal is so strong to the point that water is already a out of balance element, that equates to high blood pressure. But on the contrast, if that metal, the supporting element is lacking and the water is already out of balance, that's typically low blood pressure. The last one, in water, it's connected to like reproductive organ issues like OBGYN stuff or like period pains or hormone imbalance, especially in females. So that's what this particular heavenly stem represents. So now that we have a quick overview of what each of those 10 letters represents, we can use the example to see how we can benefit from this early self-diagnosis so we can seek treatment. So this person, right, position number 3, him or her is a yin wood, and because this position number 6 month is very influential, it's a yin wood born in the yin wood month. So just by looking at 2 letters in this person's chart, you can kind of say it's a very strong wood already, because I'm a wood born in the prime chi state of spring, wood month. And then on top of it, there are like a bunch of wood and water helping myself. So it's a very strong wood chart. Typically, I would say this person's favorable element would be fire, because fire is a reduction, because wood grows fire. It's a reduction and taking away energy from wood so that wood can be in a more balanced state. You would typically say for non-health aspect of life, when fire comes from the annual or the 10-year trends, I would say, oh, it's a favorable time for your life. You might have a promotion or more money, whatever. But health is a different angle to look at the same chart. Let's say when the fire element comes from either annual or 10-year trend, what happens to this person's health? Because metal is such a weak element in this whole chart, there's only one thing floating above, and then fire suppresses metal, metal suppresses wood. Both of his neighbors are taking away of metal's energy. It's quite a weak element, totally out of balance, and there's nothing that's same as himself on the bottom row, so there's no supporting helping hand. Metal represents, we just said earlier, lung, nerve system, right? So I would say to watch out, there's a potential health risk seed planted in this BaZi chart. I don't know if it's lung issues or nerve system issues, but it's in that general category. And then we can see what's going to trigger change. That's a bad influence for this already weak metal. Because fire suppresses metal, right? So whenever the annual year or the 10-year trend, you see this yang fire or yin fire, we're gonna watch out. Because fire suppresses metal, you know it's gonna make the already unfavorable metal even weaker. And that's gonna trigger some extreme imbalance for what does yin metal represent, which is our lung condition or our nerve system. What actually happened to this person is that during the yang fire trend influence, is annual trend for this person, he started to have seizure, uncontrollable shaking of his hand. When those fire trend went away, his condition has improved. But when it came back to the fire years, the condition unfortunately went back to a previous state of seizure. So that's what happened to this person, and it elevated to a philosophical question about BaZi and our lives, right? Because I was saying fire was a favorable element to his other life aspect. He could have got a promotion or more money, but the price he's paying is by suffering health. Maybe because the extra material gains cause additional stress in his body, and the stress cause health problems. But by using this BaZi system, you can actually try to filter down what could be the potential health risk, and so that we can seek help and seek preventative care as soon as possible. So that's the practical implication of why learning BaZi is super useful. Next video, I'm going to talk about what happened to twins or people with the same BaZi. Are their fate the same? I've been researching that and really looking forward to sharing my findings with you. I'll see you next time. Bye.